Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Well, I'll tell you guys, it is a beautiful morning out here. It's actually nice and cool, not too cold and not too hot, just really, really cool in there. And we got a slight breeze in here. And I'll tell you, I'll take it at any time right now because not too long from now, you're going to watch the heat in Texas just scratch it up there. And you're going to come out here, it's going to be 9 in the morning. It'll be sweltering heat. So I'll tell you, I'll take these cool mornings right now for sure. Now, listen to this. The articles that I've been reading today, and the first one has to do with Saudi Arabia signing a trade deal with China, Russia, India, and Pakistan. And this is a major, major deal because the center of this agreement is to trade, natural gas, fossil fuels, oil, natural gas, and all that in the Chinese yuan and getting away from the US dollar. And China is putting a run in for the world reserve currency. And in fact, the second article that I was reading has to do with one of the world's first, petroleum-based trade deal that went down. France bought 65,000 tons of liquid natural gas. And I believe they were buying it from the United Arab Emirates or something like that. But they used Chinese yuan to complete the purchase. That is a major, major, major deal. And that's the first one ever. Guys, you're going to see more and more and more of this. And why is that? Because folks are losing confidence in the whole US dollar system. And the US dollar, especially from the petrodollar perspective, has literally lost its status. Guys, like I said, the petrodollar is dead. We just haven't had the funeral yet. It is going to be massive. And for those out there that think, oh, well, the economy in the United States is so great and this and this and that it can never be attacked, you're going to wake up to some rude awakening and fast, because I'll tell you what, you lose world reserve currency status, you're going to watch hyperinflation like you have never seen. You think the Weimar Republic was bad? Guys, listen. The central bank has gone out there, and what they have done is they have actually supplied a demand for US dollars outside of the United States. That's what's really gone on, and printed off heaps and heaps and heaps of it. Well, what happens when people start to dump the US dollar? Well, it has to come back in, doesn't it? And who do you think suffers there? Well, it's the people in the United States who have to absolutely, trade and base their life on the US dollar. We're the ones that are obligated to it, not these other countries around the world. What do you think's going to happen? Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. If that happens, you're going to see the inflation of the US dollar take off like it has never happened before. And it is going to be bad. I mean, Judy lived through it. My wife lived through it. She was living over there in Belarus when they were having a massive liquidity issue and the hyper inflation. And you could literally see kids making, using large denomination notes and making little sailboats and floating them around in puddles because the paper was worth absolutely nothing. It was just ridiculous. And you're going to see stuff like that. It is going to get really bad. If that happens, it is going to hurt the economy in a big, big way. And it's not about panic. It's about reality. Look at it. This economy has really been propped up by the petrodollar. And with the death of the petrodollar, now, this is what I think how they're going to address it. They know what's coming down the pike. Don't kid yourself. And they have a plan. And I think that plan is this whole switching over to this new digital system that they want us, this new digital financial system that they're wanting to do. They're going to get their reset, guys. They're going to flip these switches. That is exactly what's going to happen. Do you think the Western powers are going to just acquiesce and give up all of this, control, all of this, power and wealth and everything else just so easily like that? Not going to happen that easy, guys. This type of situation, look, they have gone to war over the US petrodollar. And look, the way things are shaping up in the world as it is, you can bet your bottom or your last XRP that they're not just going to go silently into that night. I'll tell you what. And for those of us that are watching this space, and you wait and see how this is going to affect the DXY, it is just going to tank. And when it does, I'll tell you, you're going to see this space, this digital asset space, absolutely take off. That is my opinion. I think we're going to see something like that. And for me, it's probably going to, what I believe, it's probably going to be one of the greatest wealth transfers that have ever happened in the history of mankind. And the reason for that, guys, is, hey, look, we think that there's so many people that are aware. Do you realize how few people are actually exposed to these digital assets? And when you look at the use case for this distributed ledger technology and the problems that it can solve and how it can actually be the rescue for this liquidity crisis and the switch over to a new form of money in central bank digital currencies, wow, I'm telling you what, so few people really are on board with that. And when it happens, it is going to happen absolutely fast. And there will be no chance to get on that train. It will have left the station like a bullet, and there won't be any kind of hopping on, that's for sure. So if you're thinking about, look, the way I look at it now is this: you either get on board or you get left behind. And that's really what's going on. And a lot of people are just absolutely oblivious to it, that's for sure. And so that's where I think those of us that are early into this space are going to see such changes. It's going to be mesmerizing. That's at least my view. But guys, we can see it, right? We can see the world changing right before our very eyes. And a lot of times it feels safer. It feels easier to kind of not pay attention, because it can be nerve-wracking when you can really consider what a state the world is in right now with, you know, global conflicts, with the liquidity crisis is going on. Now we got food crises going on. And then you're seeing the development of all these 15-minute cities and stuff like that. And it's happening so fast that it's really hard to digest. And so for sure, a lot of times it's easier to just kind of like ignore it and not really want to hear it. I, in fact, know people that literally do not want to hear you tell them, hey, you might want to get a little preps in there. You might want to be a little bit prepared, or have it. They just can't take it. It's too much for them emotionally. And that's a sad state of affairs, but that's what's going down. You know, and for us that are in this space, hey, we've been sounding the alarm for a long time and saying, hey, get prepared. Have a little bit of extra food. Have a little bit of fuel over there. Have this or that. Have a little cash at home. Have this or that. And get into some of these spaces that we're into. But you know what, guys? Sometimes it just falls on deaf ears, because none are so blind as those who will not see. And that's what's really going on. So, hey, pray for them, encourage them, don't stop warning them, but, you know, use wisdom when you do it, because, hey, you know, it's kind of like the whole idea of, you know, you go out there and you try to lead a horse to water, but look, you can't make them drink, can you? And that's kind of what's going on. But anyway, guys, I sure hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. It's gearing up to be a good one the way it looks around here. And I hope wherever you are in the world, it's gearing up to be a good one there too. And until later on, when we release our video this afternoon or later this evening, hey, last night, I didn't get it out till about after 12 a.m. just because of all the busyness of life that's going around here with Judy and all that kind of stuff and what, but, you know, still got it out there, so I'm happy about that. But until then, guys, I sure hope you have a fantastic one, and take care.